Alright, broski, it's T and I'm back, man, with a new video. It's Greg Doucette again, my friends. More annoying than me. Ronnie Coleman and Chris Bumstead never did low reps. Yeah, they don't do low reps because in the back of their mind, they are training for sarcoplasmic hypertrophy because they're trained individuals. That's what trained people get. They get sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It's kind of like being in a penis pump. You swell up the penis, it draws all this fluid into the penis, makes it really swell up big, but eventually it goes back to normal because there's nothing holding it in there, no catalyst. Okay, so it's something like that. Let's review this video.
But the problem is he's even more annoying than me.
Let's just say sarcoplasmic is artificial muscle growth because it's a fluid. It's not based on proteins. It's based on fluid muscles.
I know you don't think it's possible, but let me see if I can make the case.
Okay, make the case. Yes, Greg, make the case for us.
Coach Greg, in today's video, we're going to see if Ryan Fisher, who's essentially a mini version of Coach Greg, we're going to get into his bike riding attitude and all that stuff, of which I personally respect, but I understand guys in the road, they're going to hate this guy. But what I really dislike is when he perhaps purposely misrepresents the science. He tries to make it look like he knows what he's talking about, because after all, the guy is an elite level athlete, one of the best CrossFitters in the entire world. But just because you're good at something doesn't mean you know jack shit. And so by the end of the video, I'm going to prove that he doesn't know what he's talking about, or prove that he's a liar, one of the bunch. And so you can take your pick.
That he does. He's going to prove that he doesn't know what he's talking about, or that he's a liar. Oh, this is a good one, man. I can't wait to see this. CrossFit. That's an interesting. I guess you could call it a sport because they don't just lift. They actually put it into use. They have competitions on it. Yeah.
Which it is. Ever see someone lift a ton but not look the part? Here's the science. Training for strength.
Lift a ton but not look the part. Yeah, because it's based on androgen receptor strength. I could prove this too, man. This is easy. Here's the science. Training for strength and training for muscle size. No, you're wrong. Hypertrophy has many modalities. You can have inflammation. You can have sarcoplasmic. You can have lactic acid. It can be inflammatory response. It can be many things, bro. Get it? It could be even injections in the arm, this synthol. It could be creatine muscles. I don't know. It could be anything, bro. Then there's myofibrillar real muscles. There's myofibrillar, fiber splitting, a repairing and a remodeling. You know what I mean? This kind of stuff, bro. Yeah. There's also blood flow restriction. That's another one. Is that real muscle too? See, so hypertrophy has many meanings. If I punch you in the arm and it hypertrophies, did you get a bigger muscle? If you have a disease in your arm, you have an infection and it blows up like a balloon, the muscle, or from toxins or some toxic shit causes it to blow up, it hypertrophies. Did you build a muscle? See what I mean? It's ridiculous shit, bro. If you really build real muscle, then yes, you will be stronger. But if you don't build real muscle, you will not be stronger. You'll get more androgen receptors because your body will adapt by compensating with androgen receptor strength, but not mass, like real mass, like real protein mass, whatever muscles.
Strength and training for muscle size hypertrophy aren't the same. Have you guys ever seen anybody in Olympics who are like 120?
It is the same. The only problem is, it's if you're training for muscle, real muscle growth, hypertrophy through real like protein muscle growth, then you do something called ultrastructural damage to the myofiber. Then it repairs, it gets more fibers that way, and then it remodels itself, repairs and remodels, right? There's more fiber, and it will lay down some new tracks, some myotubes and things like that, and give you donations of stuff to satellite cells, so forth and so on. And then it'll give you more androgen receptors because they have somewhere else to bind to some new fibers to bind to it. But if there's just fluid there, inflammation or something, sarcoplasmic, it has nowhere to bind. Okay, but when a fiber does get slightly bigger as well in mass, well then that androgen receptor widens, it can take in more of these androgens, sure. Yeah, that's right.
Pounds and lifting massive weights. like the really small weight class, and you're like, how the fuck did that guy just lift that weight?
Yeah, I'm thinking that guy or girl has amazing genetics and
Yeah, they don't have amazing genetics. How did he lift that weight? How did that guy? How did he do it? Oh my God. Yeah, let me tell you how he did it. It's right here. Sorry, I don't have all this stuff ready. So here it is. This is what controls it. This is what controls that. Okay, what happened here? I don't know what the hell happened here. Okay, here it is. Myocytic androgen receptor controls that strength, but not the mass of the limb muscles. Where it controls the mass? Well, that's complicated, but we're not into that right now. Myocytic androgen receptor controls the strength, but not the mass. Controls the strength. And if you go down here, it'll tell you. Importantly, we also show that AR deficiency in limb myositis impairs myofibular organization, sarcomeres, and decreases muscle strength, thus demonstrating that myocytic androgen receptor controls key pathways required for maximum force production and muscle strength. There you go. So how is he able to do that? Because he was compensated by moving heavier weight with androgen receptor strength. How does a woman lift a car? How does she lift a car when her son is in danger? The car is on top of him. She lifts a 6,000-pound car, the mom, off the kid. It's easy. She gets an influx of adrenaline. This adrenaline hormone, boom, binds with the receptor, giving her a more force production. It's in case of an emergency. Yes.
yeah, I'm thinking that guy or girl has amazing genetics and trained harder than last time.
And he literally looks like he could hula hoop a Cheerio.
You could call that molecule strength, okay? Yeah, that isn't based on you physical strength.
Tiniest human ever.
And remember, he's just poking fun. Skinny people, they can't hula hoop Cheerios, more like Fruit Loops or perhaps donuts.
Right? Like, how is he not bigger?
How is he not bigger? How is he not bigger? You lift it that way. How is he not bigger?
Because he's lifting under 5 repetitions.
And so he states the reason for this is because they're lifting under 5 repetitions.
How come he's not bigger? Because he's lifting under 5 repetitions? He's not bigger because M&D size has a ceiling limit. Duh. This is some stupid shit, bro. Again, here we go again with this bullshit. Here, hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. It's not that one. Fuck, I don't know where it went now. Ay, 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 carajo. Let me see this. Yeah. I guess I can't talk. That's an easy one to answer. See this? Why is he not getting bigger? Because has a myonuclear domain size limit muscle. See? MND size has a ceiling limit during hypertrophic process beyond which extra myonuclei are donated by satellite cell to support further muscle growth. That's why he's not getting a bigger, because that's what controls the mass. That's what controls the mass. Remember what we just read here? What controls the mass? What controls that mass? Well, the myocytic androgen receptor controls that mass. See? Sorry. That MND size controls the mass, but myocytic androgen receptor controls that strength, broski. You understand me, man? So that's how it works. So I hate interrupting this, but let's go.
And so
on
he states the reason for this is because they're lifting under 5 repetitions. And so if I were to take Lance...
Not at all. It has an MND size limit. And that strength he's getting is myocytic androgen receptor strength. Your body will compensate you. It will give you an adaptation because you're focused on lifting heavy weight. You're not focused on bypassing myonuclear domain size limit. You can't bypass it when you're focused on lifting a heavy weight. The training has to be very specific for that.
Armstrong or any Tour de France rider, perhaps...
All training, you can only train for one thing at a time. You can't train for a million things out there, get it? And expect something else to happen when you're training for something else. If you want to bypass myonuclear domain size, then you fucking train for that. Now, if you want to train for lift a heavy fucking weight, then you fucking train for that, bro. So don't fucking say, hey man, how come I gain a strong lift, but I'm not getting bigger.
Marathon runner, and they trained all above 5 repetitions, would that mean they would all look like professional bodybuilders? Is the secret doing more than 5 reps? Anyone who trains properly above 5 repetitions, you're going to get jacked. Anyone who trains below 5 repetitions, you're not going to have any muscle. Or could it more like...
That's not true. It's because those guys that are lifting, that are doing reps, they're trained people now, and trained people always get, what is this? Hold on a second. They always get this shit. These trained people. I don't know where it is now. That's not it. Anyways, they get, fuck it, man. I'm not bringing it up, bro. You can look it up yourself. 6 weeks, something. Trained people get sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Trained people.
Repetitions, you're not going to have any muscle.
Trained individuals get sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's all. That's it. It's really simple. Once you're trained, you get sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's the pump, bro. That is glycogen loading. That muscle's artificial because it's based on fluid.
Or could it more likely be the fact that certain bodies are made for Olympic lifting and others are made for hypertrophy? Are some people more genetically gifted for strength?
Absolutely not. You can only train for one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Now, I'm not saying that you may not get some size there too, lifting a heavy weight, providing you're eating glycogen. The more glycogen you'll eat, the bigger you'll get. But that glycogen loading is not going to equate to strength. Muscle equates to strength.
Some more genetically gifted for muscle size? I've seen IFBB pro professional bodybuilders who can't...
What are you talking about? These guys are on steroids, and everybody knows testosterone draws more glycogen into the muscle because it can't bypass myonuclear domain size limit. It is really hard to bypass that limit. You understand me? It says it's beyond where the progenitor can donate anymore. Beyond, bro, get it? He can't support any more muscle growth after the first time you come into the gym. I can prove that too. That it looks like this. Nuclear overload training, whatever. I don't know where it is, man. Somewhere over here. I think I had it up here before. Did I have it up here before? Man, I don't even know where it went. Nuclear overload training, your favorite stupid thing here, everybody's favorite stupid shit. The dipshit stuff. Here it is. That's what it looks like. Untrained, first training satellite cell fusion, and then boom, hypertrophy. When you detrain and you retrain, that's all you're getting. You're just chasing your tail like a dog. Yeah, man. See, previously untrained muscles acquire newly formed nuclei by fusion of satellite cell preceding hypertrophy. And then what happens? You're trained now. What are you getting in that size? Well, I'll tell you what that size is too. I can tell you what that size is. Here's what you're getting. You're getting this. High volume resistance training. That's what he was talking about, right? High reps or whatever. Even in low reps, it could happen. It can happen in low reps too. High volume resistance training in trained young men is largely attributed to sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Sarcoplasmic. Now, the problem with these powerlifters are they're messing up the... I talked about this in another video. They get some fiber splitting lifting a heavy weight, but the problem is they don't allow that fiber splitting to regenerate. And so they fuck it up because they come back too early lifting. Because in their mind, they think that somehow it's getting masked. The muscle's getting masked up. It's not getting masked up anymore. It reached an MND size limit. It can't get any bigger. That domain can't get bigger per fiber.
Who can't deadlift 405 pounds. But to the same extent, there are small girls who can deadlift way more than this.
When you guys do singles and doubles and triples, you're not getting bigger.
Really? If you do singles, doubles, or triples, you're not getting bigger. And so if you train to the gym for 10 years and you're on a 10x3 program, you're doing...
Yeah, the weight itself is not going to make you bigger. Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown for it to see the mass on the myofibrillar. But again, it reaches an M&D size limit. So you'll only see some newbie gains in the beginning when you get there, just like that map I showed you. Those are newbie gains. And then after that, there's no more gains. There's absolutely no more muscle gains. You have to figure out how to get over M&D size limit to get that progenitor to actually donate these nuclei because they synthesize protein. But it says it's beyond that. So you need to figure out how you can get it beyond that to support further muscle growth. Get it?
Sets of 1 to 3, perhaps with 1 rep in reserve, you're not going to get any muscle. You're just going to get really strong and not put on any muscle whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Your bones can get, they get strong from weight bearing stuff like isometric. Definitely squats make you strong because the weight's on your back. It's forcing you down. It's kind of weight bearing, isn't it? So yeah, I don't know, man. It's really hard to say. Got a gravitational loading on there. Yeah, on the fiber in the cells and everything. There could be a disruption there. But you still have to eat. You have to eat to support that. You're not eating enough protein. It's really hard to do that.
Have you ever seen Olympic...
You have to eat over 1,200 or so grams of protein to build muscle.
Lifters that actually look amazing. And so I'm looking up this Olympic lifter, Lee Dae-yin. The guy weighs between 81 and 89 kilograms, just under 200 pounds. And the guy is shredded. He's...
Nah, you can tell he's got bubble shoulders. This is sarcoplasmic. He's very rounded. And that just shows that it's protruding. It's really round. There's no shape to it. It doesn't look natural. Natural muscles, they don't look like that. They don't have that curvature to it. He's got his thing in the back there is high too.
Literally peeled to the bone, could compete in a classic physique competition. He's clean and jerking 440 pounds.
Yeah, he didn't look that ripped to me, man. But whatever, okay.
Over his head. Yet he's ripped, shredded. Do you really think he got all those muscles by doing...
Bro, it's a trick, man. He's actually throwing the weight over his head. He's throwing it up in the air. He's not lifting it up slowly. He's throwing it up. That's the sport.
That's above 5? Or do you not think he trains like every other Olympic powerlifter? The difference is genetics. His genetics allowed him to put on a shit ton of muscle and lift heavier than last time while being shredded, while
I didn't see him lift. He lifted. He pulled something. He pulled it up and he threw it up.
other people don't have those genetics.
If you are creating a muscular stimulus, it's just not nearly as impactful as like 5 to 30 repetitions.
And so if you do set...
No, that's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. This guy is so out of his mind that doing more reps is not going to get you over MND size limit. It's impossible. That's not how you do it.
Of 4, you will not build as much muscle as you do a set of 30. This is what he's saying. He's saying between 5 and 30, that's how you build.
No, muscle is built like this. Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. But without additional nuclei, they synthesize protein. You cannot exceed that domain. It oversees that domain. You understand me? It has a limit, bro.
Muscle between 35 and 85% of your 1 rep max. And so if you're lifting 86% of your 1 rep max, then it's too heavy to put on muscle effectively. Well, for some reason, when I had 86% of my 1 rep max, I do sets of 10 with that on my deadlift. And so for some people, you can lift more than 85% and clearly get above 5 repetitions. And for other people, they're really, really strong at 1 repetition, but you lighten the weight and they can only barely get 2. And so
again, he threw that weight. He bounced it and he threw it. See that?
some people better at reps, some people better at maxes. Myself, I'm much stronger at doing multiple repetitions. After all, had the Guinness...
Man, you're cheating there, doing these like weird fucking splits here. Bouncing it from the floor with your manlet body.
world record in the deadlift. In comparison, I can't
He always has to compare himself to other people. This is so narcissistic behavior of his.
deadlift 1,000 pounds, but if the weight's a bit lighter, I can continue to do more repetitions. And so the magic apparently stops at 30. If you
Yes, Greg, you took drugs and you cheated. Okay. All right.
do sets of 31, you're not building muscle at this point. You're just
Are you proud of yourself that you couldn't do it yourself? You had to cheat and use something.
Toning. Is that what we're going to hear next? If 31 reps is toning. Now, think of it this way. If I were given the choice to do all sets of 30 versus all sets of 4, I don't know if doing sets of 30 would build more muscle than doing sets of 4. It depends on...
Sets of 30 will build more sarcoplasmic muscles. Yeah, you'll draw in more and get this pump. You'll get the pump. So yeah, you'll build muscle in a gym, lifting a weight. Yeah, pumping more glycogen in the muscle. So you get more of these artificial muscles. Yes, Greg?
How close you can get to failure. How many of you think you can do sets of 30 repeatedly and go to failure? Do you know how hard it is to do a set of 30 to failure? That is very hard in comparison. Doing a set of 4...
And you need to do 30 sets to failure. Why? Because to draw more glycogen in the muscle.
Relatively easy. What?
That is not how you get over MND size limit.
1, 2, 3, 4, done. Might take you 10, 15 seconds, but doing a set of 30 could be at a minute plus. And so please don't think that there's a certain rep minimum that you need to do or a certain rep maximum that you need to do. Also, there's a big difference between doing a...
This is the coach that you're all following, this dumb coach. He's so stupid. He doesn't even know these things, MND size limit, none of these things, sarcoplasmic. He doesn't bring up any of them, but he'll make stupid videos about reticutum. You're going to add some muscles in the reticutum, or you're going to get the domes and the cracks, and it's going to fill in the domes and the cracks. But how are you getting these domes and cracks and all that? He never tells you anything in his videos. He just wants to sell you a book and a tablet. That's it.
Sort of 30 as fast as you possibly can, perhaps partials on a leg press. You could perhaps do 30
Yes, go as fast as you can. You'll build the muscle faster that way. Yes, of course.
partial reps in 15 seconds.
Yes.
In comparison, you could do a set of 4 and take a minute. Depends on how
Yeah, see, you're building muscles already in the gym. Look, her legs already got bigger, man. God damn it.
fast you're doing the concentric versus the eccentric. And so to simply make a blanket statement saying 1, 2, or 3 reps, you're not going to get any...
You'd think a coach like this, he calls himself a coach, you'd think he'd know these things, how to do these modalities. Oh, I forgot. He did it fake all his life, so how the fuck would he know how to actually do these things? Shit.
size. Doing 5 to 30, you're going to get a ton of size. It makes no sense. And so really, 5 to 30.
See, you're going to get a ton of size. Just, you go like this and you get a ton of size. It just magically on breatharian diet. Boom, guy.
It's a really big range. Does anyone think there isn't a difference between...
You didn't even say anything about eating. You just press and bang, bingo, you're going to get size. What size is that? Some swelling? I don't know. Inflammation?
the feelings you get when you do a set of 5, which is very heavy, and a set of 30, which is very light. He's literally saying between 35 and 85...
Okay, so what happens if I do a really heavy weight 30 times? What if I do that super heavy weight 30 times? Then what happens, Greg?
5% of your 1 rep max. How many of you think you're going to build muscle optimally, continuously going to the gym, doing 35% of your 1 rep max?
Yes, I see people going to the gym and they always look the same. How come they're not getting bigger? How come they're not getting bigger doing that, lifting these weights? Hey, Greg?
Very light. For the most part, it's probably somewhere in the middle. And so there's nothing wrong with saying, this is where I think you should train for the most part. But you need to be open.
The best is you hear these guys, I didn't get big. I got stronger, but I didn't get bigger. You know what I mean? Or I got bigger and I didn't get stronger. I didn't get bigger, but I got stronger. I got a bigger and I didn't get a stronger. You get these like all kinds of people out there.
Doing all forms of repetition, time under tension, intensity levels, and so on.
You guys watch like Ronnie Coleman or Jay Cutler or C-Bum or whoever.
Yeah, guys on steroids, they took molecules to bind to the androgen receptor, giving them more force production. Yes, of course, C-Bum and all these guys. Yes, the fake bodybuilders and everybody.
They're not in the gym doing singles or doubles or triples.
Does he even know who Ronnie Coleman is?
Doubles, they're doing doubles and triples. Yeah. Listen, try and do that just on pure carnivore diet and not your herbivore diet and see what happens.
Has he never watched this man live?
Or just eat a pure herbivore diet and no carnivore and see what happens.
Lightweight, baby! Ain't nothing but a peanut! Has he not seen him deadlift 800 pounds for...
Yeah, I seen him lifting that. Yeah. He's building a muscle magically out of the air there, Greg.
Set of 2? Ronnie Coleman 800 deadlift. HD, Ronnie Coleman.
Yes. The amount of drugs he's taking to lift that heavy weights, incredible. Shit, I seen people that don't take drugs that could lift 500. So he's only lifting 800, a few more hundred, right? I've seen a guy with no drugs, 600. Even natural, 6, a skinny dude. 600, no drugs. So what's he lifting? Another 200, another, what, 200 more? What is this? Nothing, bro. If you need drugs to lift 800, but there's people doing it naturally at 600, that's kind of crazy.
And so I guess this video...
He's not really that strong because his body is not, it doesn't have any muscle, it has fluid called sarcoplasmic fluid. That's why his muscles look so big. They're just pumped with shitloads of fluid in it. And that lift is androgen receptor strength, because if he truly had that amount of muscle, 300 pounds of muscle, he'd be able to lift fucking double that. Because an ape can bench press 4,000 pounds and has a strength of 20 men, and he doesn't lift weights.
Video only had 9.3 million views, and so perhaps Ryan Fisher, who likes to ride bicycles and used to do CrossFit, perhaps he's never heard of this. Perhaps he never knew that Ronnie Coleman was in fact a competitive powerlifter.
Hey, Dr. Drew, my wife Susan here.
Yes, so what? He was a competitive powerlifter, and what? He's lifting all kinds of weight. He's a bodybuilder.
We want to show you something. I want to talk to you about something that's been making waves on social media lately.
Brother.
We've cracked...
Commercial.
Ronnie Coleman was in fact a competitive powerlifter. He's doing a set of 800 for two. You can't put on muscle. Ronnie Coleman, perhaps the largest bodybuilder of all time, considering his height and weight. Oh, you can't build muscle doing sets of two. Remember, his biggest regret in life was only squatting that weight?
Yeah, you can't build sarcoplasmic muscles without just doing, sets of two. Kinda. You can build some, but not a lot, because you gotta draw that. For every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water are drawn between the skin and the muscle into the muscle. So you have to be able to draw it in there with sets to build those fake sarcoplasmic muscles, bro.
For 2 reps. Perhaps it was his biggest regret because he was speaking to Ryan Fisher and he said you need to do 5 to 30 reps to put on muscle.
Like, is this guy so brain dead that he doesn't understand this? I thought he's a coach.
Do you think he can put on muscle with less than 5 reps? Which do you think it is? Oh, and
Yeah, you can put on this fake muscle with less than 5 reps, for sure. But it won't be a lot. You get more, you draw more of that glycogen, that water in there, when you do more repetitions. So
no,
what?
I've never seen Chris Bumstead go for a 1 rep max. Never seen him get injured, and never seen him try to go past failure. Remember that squat video had about 600 pounds, 6 plates on each side? And so do not see Chris going for a 1 rep max. He squats into the hole, he tries to get out of it, can't do it, goes back into the hole, and lo and behold, he gets out of it, somehow figures out a way to get it up. And if you can figure out a way to get it up, harder than last
Whatever. Chris does multiple sets, so what?
time, for the... Try not to do set... Go higher, that's also good, but to please use proper form and not...
Yes, proper.
Seen some of these elite level Olympic lifters? You're picking out a single demographic of guys that have horrible genetics for putting a lot of size on, but have amazing genetics for strength due to whatever genetic...
They have amazing genetics for strength. They're called steroids. Those amazing genetics, you inject them, and then they give you these amazing genetics to throw weights up in the air.
components they have. You're not mentioning that many Olympic...
Watch him throw the weight up in the air. He's practicing to throw weight up in the air.
lifters have a shit ton of muscle. They're jacked. They look incredible. They're shredded. They look like bodybuilders.
There you go. He threw the weight up in the air. Did he lift that weight up by himself? No. He threw the weight up in the air.
And yet they're only training like Olympic lifters. And so which is it? Can it be that if you lift heavy, you can actually build muscle and strength? Or does it have to be whatever Ryan Fisher thinks? I mean, after all, this is...
There's no way he could have lifted that weight by himself slowly up and press it from his chest up in the air. Impossible. And that's why they call it the snatch. It's a specific... What they're doing is very specific. They're throwing weights up. They bounce them. They throw them up in the air. That's the whole technique.
The same guy that said if you can't squat double your body weight, that you're
I'm not saying they don't do deadlifts and they don't do squats. They do them too as well.
not a real man. So although I can't find this video because I watched it 30 minutes ago and I don't know how to use the internet, but I heard the guy say it.
Just a side note, you should not be able to call yourself a man unless you can squat, double your body weight, because their goal is to be as small as possible and as strong as possible.
And so technically...
Squat, double your body weight? You should be call yourself a man because you didn't squat, double your body weight? There's many people out there in the world that are busy working and doing stuff. They don't squat. It's not part of their life. They don't care about lifting. They have other hobbies they like to do. So are they not men? Or what are you talking about?
Not all of their goals are to be as small as possible. Case in point, just mentioned the guy competed at 81 kilograms.
See that? He bounced that weight up onto his chest. He threw it up onto the top part of his chest, and then he threw it up in the air. He bounced it. Watch. You gotta see this again. Look. That's what the sport's all about.
Are to be as small as possible. Case in point, just mention the guy competed at 81 kilograms, and now he's moving up to 89. Oftentimes, they competed.
Did you see how fast his arm snapped up in the air? He didn't like put it up slowly. Do you think he could? No, of course not. He could never do that. He had to throw it up in the air. His body goes down as the weight goes up in the air. It's a trick, bro.
Smaller weight classes, and as they get older, they put on. Supposed to argue with stupidity. I mean, because they are tiny. The bigger guys lift bigger weights.
Tiny Olympic lifters look tiny because they are tiny. The bigger guys lift bigger weights pretty much every time. That's true, yeah. They do. They do lift bigger weights, the bigger people. There's that big guy, whatever, from Romania, lifts heavy.
Pretty much every time. And so there are a ton of weight classes. And so if you pick the lightest
he throws heavy weight around, yeah.
weight class, say 120 pounds, of course you're going to be small and lift a lot of weights. But if you look...
Did you see how the guy threw the weight up in the air? Wee! You think he could have lifted that slowly, lift it up, and then press it from his chest up slowly? Of course not.
Up the weight class is super heavy.
Whatever.
I ride the bike with one arm with my GoPro and healthy.
Yeah.
Does it really matter how much food you get to eat after? I would have loved to have heard the favorite part of their bike ride was getting the bike out. Was feeling that fresh air, the sights, the water, the bridge. There were so many things after it's all over. And so if you only do cardio to burn off fat, to burn...
Cardio? Everything's cardio. Everything you do, anything physical is cardio. Lifting weights, doing long sets, reps, things is cardio. It's not just going on a bicycle is cardio. This is ridiculous, stupid shit. Everything you do physically is cardio. It affects your heart some way or another. I gotta go. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. See you in the next one, friends. This ridiculous shit again. Yeah. Ronnie Coleman and Chris Bumstead never did low reps. Okay, whatever. They do sometimes. Whatever they do, whatever they feel like doing.